So we're on round 3 of trying to figure out our technical issues, and I do sincerely apologize for our technical issues. I am hoping that we're going to have them solved shortly. Again, my apologies for those of you who have joined and not joined. And I believe Nichole is here now. Hopefully. Hi, Nichole.
Hi.
We finally got the technical issues worked
Yes,
out.
I ended up switching to my phone, and I think that seemed to have helped a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad we were able to get that worked out. Now, hopefully, those people who have been wanting to talk to you and hear about your book can still join us and still see us. I've been using the same link to reconnect each time. So hopefully, Nancy, thanks for joining. And again, sorry so much for the technical conundrum that we've had.
Next time.
It's a good way to start the day. All right, so we'll wait for a few more people to join watching. But thank you again so much for doing this, Nichole. Once I saw your story and saw your reason behind it, I knew I wanted to get people knowing more about it, being that we are a cat-focused business and we love cats. And we have several of the breeds that you discussed with regards to your cause that you are supporting here. So since we have a few more watchers, I think we'll just dive right in and get started. For those of you who don't know, my name is Zara and I'm the owner of Cat Sitter Toronto, and I'm interviewing Nichole Webster today, and Nichole is the author of Fluffy the Hairless Cat and the Midnight Mouse Mission. If you haven't got the book, I highly recommend that you do. Not only does it support a great cause that we'll talk about later in our live, it is also a really great story for adults and kids alike.
I agree.
So Nichole, why don't you tell us about yourself, and like, did you always love cats, or did you come across them later in life and love them then?
I always definitely, I think, grew up loving animals in general. We had a lot of family pets, including cats. One cat in particular I really took a liking to. Her name was Lucy, and her name was actually my first word.
Oh, I love it.
So I've always loved cats, and I've actually always had a fascination with the Sphynx breed, which is why I was pretty lucky to come across Fluffy.
I see his picture there. He's so cute. So how did Fluffy come about into your life? Like, when did he arrive?
Yeah, so in 2017, I was living with my mom at the time, and she finally allowed me to get a cat. So thanks, Mom. I think she's watching this right now, actually. So I started doing a lot of research on the Sphynx breed to see if it was a good fit for me. And I deemed it was. And then I came across an ethical and reputable breeder who does scan for HCM, because that was important too. And then I found Fluffy, and as soon as I saw him with his big blue eyes, I knew that he was the one for me. And I flew to a different province to go get him.
Wow. So which province did you go to get him?
BC, British Columbia. Yeah.
Wow. And how was the travel home with him?
Awesome.
I always wonder about travel.
Yeah, it was difficult on the plane at the beginning. He was meowing a lot and was definitely nervous, but the lady on the flight, actually, the flight attendant, allowed me to put him on my lap and calm him down and relax him. Yeah, there was like nobody on the plane, no one sitting next to me. So she's like, if he gets nervous, you can put him on your lap. So I did that. And he seemed to be okay. And I think that was actually a good opportunity for him to get used to travel, because after that, he ended up loving car rides, which most cats I know don't like to ride in the car.
Yeah, most of them do not.
He loved it. It would calm him down immediately. He would just fall right asleep. So I think that flying in the plane for 5 hours with me on the way back to Toronto helped him a lot with being comfortable, and it made us bond too immediately after day one of meeting.
So what was your favorite thing about the Sphynx breed? Like, what drew you to the Sphynx?
So it's not just their unique looks. They're well known to have not even dog-like personalities, but human-like personalities. They're known to be clumsy, silly, very loving and affectionate. So that was the biggest thing that I would say that drew me towards the breed. On top of their looks, I definitely love the way that they do look, but it was the personality that really made me want to get one. And I was super lucky to be Fluffy's mom. Even it was only 3 years, but definitely very lucky.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, where did you get the inspiration for your book?
Yeah.
I kind of have an idea, but tell me about your inspiration.
Yeah.
What drew you to do?
So Fluffy was obviously my biggest inspiration. On December 9th, 2020, so just this past December, he very suddenly and unexpectedly passed away. We had a normal morning. Everything was fine. It was very, very sudden. I definitely didn't see it coming. At that time, I was actually working on a psychological thriller novel. So I've always been into writing. I've always been a writer. So I was working towards that. And then when this happened, I decided that I needed to find a way to bring Fluffy back. And because I've always been a creative writer, I knew that writing was going to be my best opportunity for that. So that's when I started writing the Fluffy the Hairless Cat series. So basically all of January, all I did was research and dive into children's books, children's literature, and really try to figure out how I can make this dream a reality.
Oh, wonderful. So January, you started it, you really got into it. So how long was it before it became a reality?
I would say it really started to become a reality when I found my illustrator, Christina Dutton. She works for K Dutton Illustrations. That's her company. She's out of Montreal. I contacted her because I saw her portfolio. I loved her artwork. And in a children's book, the illustrations are key to help bring your words to life, right? So I was really looking for colorful, vibrant, happy illustrations that could help me bring action into Fluffy and bring that life into the book that I was looking for. So I was super lucky and thankful to have found Christina to be able to do that for me. So once she started working on the book and I started seeing my words come to life on the pages with her illustrations, I think that's when my dream truly started to become a reality. And then shortly after that, I made it available on Kickstarter. I think that was in March. And I posted to Facebook, and I had a lot, like an overwhelming amount of love and support from family, friends, and a lot of cat lovers, a lot of Sphinx lovers. And that's where I started noticing the success of it. And it's basically been taking off ever since.
That's great. I mean, you're right. The illustrations are amazing. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
My favorite page, I'm going to show you my favorite page.
I think I can guess what it is.
I was reading it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best page. This one right here with the anatomy of the mouse and the map to the basement. I love it. And I love right here. It's like, tonight I'm going to get him. Yeah,
and you know what? That was all Christina
night.
Dutton. She's incredible. She knew my vision. She knew what I really wanted to do and what I was looking for the book to kind of like have that effect on people. I wanted people to see it come to life, and that's a perfect example of her doing just that. She sent me that page and she's like, do you think this is too much? I was like, oh no, that's incredible. I think kids will really enjoy looking at that page and going through the blueprints.
Oh, for sure. And it plots out how he's thinking and how he's planning his night adventure. It's a great story, I have to say. I really do love it. So are you planning to write more in the Fluffy series?
So right now, I've actually already written the sequel to this one. I won't say too much about it yet. I still need to have it heavily edited. Christina and I are discussing dates and time frames for the cover reveal of it. We know what we want to put on the cover, so we're going to be doing that. We're aiming for August 4th, which would be Fluffy's 4th birthday. So that was kind of our tentative date for the cover reveal. And then we're hoping to have it available for purchase either late fall or maybe even next year. The theme surrounding the sequel, the second book, is forgiveness. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that you're theming the books and really, planning what message it's going to send to your audience. That's great. So why don't you tell me a bit about HCM? You talked about the breeder screening for it, but what exactly is it?
So HCM is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It's a genetic cardiac defect that affects a ton of cat breeds, like Sphinx, Ragdoll, Maine Coon, Persian, British Shorthair. There's quite a number. I used to be able to list them off. But it's quite a few cats, mainly purebreds. Basically, it causes the heart walls to thicken, which makes it very difficult for blood to pump effectively and efficiently throughout the body. This can result in sudden death, which is kind of what happened to us with Fluffy. Heart failure is common, and blood clots too. It's often referred to as a silent killer. Usually there's little to no signs or symptoms until it's too late. You can have your cat, if it's found that your cat scans positive, you can have them put on medication. It never ever goes away. It's incurable. Eventually, that usually is the cause of death in most cats. It's insanely common. I had no idea just how common it was until all of this happened to us in December with him. And I started reaching out to other cat lovers and Sphinx people on Facebook. And a lot of people have been affected by HCM. Even while my Kickstarter was running, people who supported it halfway through the campaign, like cats were dying from HCM who supported my book. So it's quite sad.
Wow.
Yeah. Problem with it right now is there's no effective way to scan for it, for all of the genetic mutations that cause it. For example, Fluffy's parents both scanned negative, meaning you would expect that Fluffy would never develop HCM. Right now, there is a doctor, Dr. Kate Mers at North Carolina State University. She is researching and trying to find all of the genetic mutations responsible for HCM so that hopefully one day she can find them all, and then we would be able to more effectively see all the genetic mutations in the cats and then breed more efficiently. So it's not a problem anymore. That's probably pretty far down the line, but that's kind of what I wanted to raise awareness for, is her research, Dr. Kate Mers. She's doing incredible work.
So I read somewhere about you donating proceeds from the sale of the book. What's your plan there? Like, how much are you planning to donate, and where is it going? Is it going for research? Is it going for clinical trials?
Yeah, so I am donating 20% of all book sales, including my Fluffy merchandise. Right now I have some bookmarks and stickers, and that's about it. But I am donating 20% of all sales directly to Dr. Kate Mers herself in Fluffy's name. So I've been donating in increments. Right now we have about $2,500 Canadian that's being donated, and it's only going up from there. Yeah.
That's great.
I want to just donate all of the sales, all of the 20% sales directly to her, because I know the work that she's doing is reputable and she's doing an amazing job, and she's going to be the one that really helps save our cats' lives. And I really believe in her. And I was in some communication with her, and she hand wrote me a nice note just last week, actually, about my book and about Fluffy and HCM Research. So I know what she's doing is really, really good for this cause, and I really, really believe in her work. And so
that is wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. $2,500. That's great, considering you just really launched the book. We're just in July of this year. And if you were just still planning it in January, that's great.
Thank you.
So 20% of everything. I was on the website. I did see there was bookmarks. They look really cute, by the way.
Thank you. I'm right here.
That's such a cute bookmark.
My favorite illustration that Christina did. Fluffy.
Oh, that's so cute. I think she really did capture Fluffy in the illustration too. I can really just see.
Yeah, I sent her probably 1 million photos of Fluffy. And in one of the pages, when he gets stuck in the railing, which if you haven't read the book, when you come across it, you'll see it. But she actually asked for a ton of photos of his behind. And I can't believe how many photos and how quickly we had so many photos of his booty.
I think as cat people, our phones are full of photos of our cats.
Yeah.
Cats are definitely a part of our lives. They're a part of our family.
Oh, yeah.
So we definitely, I could see that you'd have 1 million photos for sure.
She was laughing. She's like, oh my goodness, you replied so fast. I'm like, I know. I have a lot of photos. Every angle.
So how can we help with your mission? How can we get more funds being directed towards HCM research?
Yeah, so right now my book is available on my website, and that's where I'm getting the most profit to be able to donate to Dr. Kate Mers' research, and that's at alchemybluepress.com. I also have some of my other articles, a lot of paramedic related stuff, but I also have more information about HCM and even a direct link to the research fund where people, if they don't want to buy my book, then they can actually donate directly to Kate Mers from that link. And that's under the HCM headline.
Wonderful. That's great. So you said we can order the books from alchemypress.com, right?
Alchemybluepress.com.
Alchemybluepress.com.
Alchemy Blue was
And
actually,
is there anywhere else that we can access the books?
right now it's available at Book City. If you live in Toronto at the Toronto Beaches, I think the address is 1950 Queen Street East, down at Toronto Beaches there. Yes, that's at Book City. So I think they have a few copies left. I'm going in on Sunday to check it out.
See how many are left. Well, hopefully, the more we get this interview out, the more hype will happen. I mean, it's a great cause, and it really is a cute story. And I read it myself. I didn't even read it to my kids, but I read it myself. And then my kids were like, "Oh, Mom, can we read the Fluffy Cat book?" And I was like, yes, just make sure it's back on my desk.
That's so cute.
But yeah, I read it for myself first before I read it with them. And I really do think it's a really cute story. And I'm excited to hear that you're going to be adding to the series, because I think Fluffy's got a lot to tell us for sure.
They have a plan for the third one too. That one.
That is great. I love that. Absolutely love that. So is there anything else you feel we need to know, either about Fluffy, about you, or about HCM, and kind of where we can go from here?
I do have an event with Christina, my illustrator, tomorrow night. If people are interested, they can join. It's called The Making of Fluffy the Hairless Cat. And we're going to talk about our creative abilities and how we made this book actually happen, as well as kind of like a little Meet the Illustrator night. And we're also going to be doing the first ever live reading of the book together. So that's a fun event.
That's fantastic.
That's tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's on my author page. If people want to join, they can check that.
That's great. I will make sure to share that link so that the Cat Sitter Toronto audience also can join in and find out more about you and the illustrator and about Fluffy, because it's really a cute story. And
also, I think it's important for people to know too that time with a pet is always 100% going to be too short. So if you have a pet that you love right now, I highly recommend and suggest that tonight you give them an extra kiss goodnight.
And I agree with that. Time is often too short with the ones that we love. So again, I'm going to hold the book up again because it's just so cute. Fluffy the Hairless Cat and the Midnight Mouse Mission. Look at how cute he is. Honestly, you are so lucky that you had this boy in your life. For sure. I can see that. Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to thank you for joining me today. I know we had some technical issues at the beginning, and I apologize to all of our viewers about that, but I'm so glad we were able to have this interview. And I'd love to interview you again when the next book comes out, so we can spread the word about Fluffy's next mission. I'm guessing it's going to be a mission. It might not.
There's some more action in it, so...
Wonderful. I will definitely share all the links on my webpage and through my social media accounts to reach as many people as possible, so that we can help with the HCM research and spreading the word about the great work that you're doing with this Fluffy series.
Thank you so much. And thanks for allowing me to talk about me and my book and Fluffy today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. All right, so everybody, again, thank you so much for joining us. Nichole does have an event tomorrow night with her illustrator. I will share the link on our webpage and through our social media accounts so that you can access that as well. Again, Nichole, I just want to thank you so much for joining me tonight and telling me all about Fluffy and all about the great work that you're doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
No problem. Take care.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.